That fate is on the record. It's not a manual. I'm not dropping out, but that's just where it ends. Fatback Band, their 12th album, or so it would seem. King Tim 3, Personality Jock. Perhaps the very first rap recording, preceded by Planet Rock, which wasn't really supposed to be the second song of the set, but I thought about playing it that early, and then by accident it happened, and so I guess it was destined to be Planet Rock by Afrika Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. Correct. Right. Correct me, Burl Gilliard, Minister of Information, if I ever misspeak about any of these titles.
No. You are the DJ.
And you're the rapper.
But I don't talk much.
And the first track, the ceremonial first tune of this 5-hour rap extravaganza, as it has been called, the history of hip-hop as we know it.
They said it couldn't be done.
Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang from the Awesome 2. That was sort of the shortened version. It's sort of a rule of ours tonight. Ooh, I'm pegging. A rule of ours to play the sort of edited versions, if you don't mind. I know it's maybe sacrilege to freaks of the groove, but we just want to get more titles in, and that's our way of doing it. So that was a very short version, I would say, of Planet Rock. A slightly shorter version. Well, no, there's a 9 or 10 minute version of Rapper's Delight to be had.
Up
15?
To 15.
Oh, up to 15.
I saw it today in a store.
And that was a mere 6:17.
But nevertheless, we did drop history.
And we're going to drop a little bit more, actually, on the unserious tip, with with Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critters, who you may remember had a little big hit with Roaches, sort of a parody of Rumors by the Timex Social Club. Well, Bobby Jimmy he hasn't stopped since, and he was actually going on before he had a big hit with Roaches. His first single on Ruthless, with executive producer Eric Eazy-E Wright. Let me get this exact title right. He was probably executive producer. It was written by, well, I can't read the title and speak to y'all at the same time. It was written by Russ Parr, also known as Bobby Jimmy, who was a Los Angeles DJ on some station 4 or 5 years ago, KDAYAM. And so he's made sort of a little history, a little racket for himself, making parody records of rap hits. He has a current one out. He has a full album out, actually. Hip Hop Prankster. He did a parody of NWA called Prankster, which is on that album. And his first single was a tune called New York LA Rappers, which is appropriate to play tonight because it's a bit of a takeoff on a number of what turned out to be the biggest rap stars, or they were the biggest stars at the time, 1988. And so as a way of sort of a humorous history, here we go with Bobby Jimmy and the Critters. For the rest of this first hour, after this tune is done, we're going to play some of Burl's and mine current favorites. The show doesn't move in any sort of chronological order, just kind of back to front and all over the place, just to kind of keep the mystery and the excitement as high as possible. So we're going to be moving after Bobby Jimmy into a track that's just blowing me away by L.A. Star, Fade to Black. Layla K Got to Get with Rob. I'm trying to think of who she's with Rob and Raz. Got to Get, an Arista single. We're going to do a very short version of Description of a Fool by a Tribe Called Quest. Their album is out. I'm really loving it, but and not to get too solicitous or anything, but you've got to buy the CD, because the bonuses that were left off the album are 2 or 3 of the best tracks on the whole set. So we're going to do a short version of Description of a Fool by the Tribe from Word 4, an RCA Jive double album compilation. And we'll be doing 911 Is a Joke, the recent single from Public Enemy. That album's due Monday, right?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Oh, exalted minister.
Hey, you're the one. So those are four currents that we're going to do, and then everything else will be on the on the historical tip from that point on. 26 after 1 o'clock, and we'll be doing MC Shan close to the end of the hour. The second hour is going to be a lot of James Brown and rap tunes that sample James Brown heavily, and also other classics from Sugar Hill or the Funky 4+1, Treacherous 3, and some of those Enjoy records. Legends. But enough talk. There's Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, New York, L.A. rappers. 3 very likely stars of tomorrow on our History of Rap program on KBEM-FM, Minneapolis, 17 before 2 o'clock. We've got Public Enemy next, and then going to take a short look at the local rap scene, such as it is. A couple of the few committed local rap tunes. They do, in fact, exist. One is Soul Purpose on Wide Angle, and then I still have IRM Crew's 4-song EP, which did have one pretty outstanding track, Diseased America. That's the next 3 in a row here on KBEM. We will have a reading close to the top of the hour. I think we're going to forego newscast this night and read various crucial hip-hop literature. We might be reading the letters section of the new Newsweek magazine, which is a long string of letters very critical of their rap music cover story of a week or two ago. So, and then possibly some crucial readings from the Decade Review issue of The Source, various other hours throughout the night. So that's all to come. Our James Brown set also coming up in the second hour. The original version of I Know You Got Soul, backed right up by Eric B. and Rakim's version. What is that mix called? The Payback mix by Cold Cut and a few others. Whatever you were going to say. Say it again.
Oh, no. I was going to say nothing except the Payback mix.
By Cold Cut and Norman Cook. And like I said, the essential beats you'll need to start your own posse. Rap posse. James Brown. And then other classics, other 79, 80, 81 bedrocks of rap. So, again, with no further speak, 1:45 o'clock, here's the brand new single from Public Enemy's shortly forthcoming album, Fear of a Black Planet. 911 is a joke.
Hit me!
IRM Crew, Immortal Rap Masters, made a 4-song EP in 1986 on Chill Productions Incorporated. Additional keyboards by Charlie Erickson, who also engineered. The disc was produced by Brett Edgar and Carl White at Danger Studios. Before that, another local rap example, Soul Purpose doing Soul Purpose on Wide Angle. Derek Delight Rogers, is his name? On vocals.
That I don't know.
Hope I didn't misread his name.
Bad live act, though. Caught him opening up at the MC Hammer show last summer.
Derek Stevens, I take it all back. And moving back through the set, 911 is a joke, a Public Enemy single with Flavor Flav on lead. Description of a Fool, a shortened version, a longer version of which is a bonus track on the Tribe's album, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. Got to Get by Layla K and Fade to Black by L.A. Star was about half an hour ago, and New York L.A. Rappers by Bobby Jimmy started off the set in a humorous way. 2 o'clock exactly on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 88.5 on your FM dial. And as promised, in honor of my last night, I'm not going to read the news, which I don't mind doing, but also don't like to. More interestingly to tonight's audience, I think, would be a sample of letters from the new Newsweek magazine. A couple of, on their March 19th issue, they did a cover story, a sort of analysis of the rap music phenomenon, and there's even sort of an editor's summary of the reaction to the piece with the headline, Rap on Rap. And this unnamed writer, says that the heavy reader response to Rap Rage, the March 19 cover story on rap music, was as lively as the music itself. Most readers rushed to the defense of rap and claimed Newsweek largely ignored rap's beneficial social influence. "You left out the positive side of rap," wrote one reader. "Most of the music is about South Africa, how stupid drugs are, or dancing and having fun." Added a teenage rap fan, "Rap lyrics are no worse than heavy metal lyrics and usually have more justification." A minority of letter writers criticized rap. Some were upset that the magazine would dignify a music form they find objectionable. A few even responded with thinly veiled racial slurs. There's a letter from Russell Simmons, President, Rush Artist Management, Chairman, Def Jam Recordings, New York, New York. He says, "I've worked in rap music since the late 70s, and I managed many of the artists vilified in Newsweek's cover story, Rap Rage, March 19, but I don't recognize the music as portrayed in Jerry Adler's hatchet job of an essay. He describes rap as ugly, macho, savage, violent, anti-Semitic, obscene, brutal, and scary as sudden footsteps in the dark. The crowning irony is that it emanates from a writer who bemoans the lack of what he calls a sensible discussion. Surely the moral outrage expressed in the piece would be better applied to the contemporary crises in healthcare, education, housing, joblessness, the environment, etc. Whatever the music's faults, and we don't claim that LL Cool J is as safe as Debbie Gibson, if anyone ever told me that rap music was a threat to the Republic on a par with any of those other problems, I'd reply, don't believe the hype. And to the extent that rap is about rage, mightn't Newsweek and its readers be better served examining its social sources than decrying its justifiable expression? That's what that was. Where'd that come from? Oh, that was rewinding. Thought I heard a strange sound. There is also a letter written in verse by Jennifer Beck of Duluth, and you'll have to get the magazine to get that and other reactions to Newsweek's cover story of a while ago. 3 minutes after 2 o'clock. It's about 44 degrees outside. You're listening to a sort of history of hip-hop and rap on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 88.5 on your FM dial. A giant figure in music at large and hip-hop in particular. Do you disagree?
No,
James Brown, perhaps the most sampled R&B and soul artist in the hip-hop grooves you might hear. Matt Black and Jonathan Moore, also known as Cold Cut, put together something called the Payback Mix. Keep on doing what you're doing, but make it funky. Mixed by Matt and John for Ahead of Our Time.
Oh, from 1986 is when they did that.
So we're going to hear that, and then something called Payback, the final mixdown, which is mixed by Norman Cook and Streets Ahead. You don't want to do it? You think it's all right?
No, it was just to do just the first one, really.
Oh, all right. Well, we might just do the first one. I might need the time to get my act together. I want to hear the funky drummer bit. Actually, Norman Cook's new album, he just released one. He's the mastermind behind Beats International. And I don't have my tape of that down here, but that's to be released shortly, and also an amusing recording. Well, we'll hear 5 or 10 minutes of the Payback Mix featuring It's a Man's World, Hot Pants, Funky Drummer, Soul Power 74, Funky President, Cold Sweat, and many, many, many more. Here on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 5 after 2. 10 after 2, here's King T. Frankenstein. Our James Brown set is complete with The Godfather in full distortion effect by Spoonie G on Fresh Rap from K-Tel. I don't know, K-Tel used to be square, but they all...
What?
In looking through the...
When were they square? Out of sight.
In looking...
Super bad.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You got a point. But then there was like hit... What was that? Dynamite? I used to have the one with the Dynamite box on it. Like 20 Dynamite hits or something like that. Oh, I don't know.
I've got that. That's good, man.
Well, okay. I take it all back.
Where do you think they get their samples, man?
That was from Fresh Rap. They also produced Hot Rap, but that was that. Spoonie G with The Godfather. What were you going to say?
Fish Rap.
Free James Brown, mixed by Farley Jackmaster Funk. Do the James, that was on Hot Rap. Do the James was on Hot Rap by Casanova C. Lover C and Casanova Rude.
Super Lover.
What did I say?
Just Lover. It's alright.
Oh, alright. I Know You Got Soul by Eric B. and Rakim from Paid in Full. We didn't do Bobby Bird's version after all, but it was in the Payback mix earlier on, so I thought the seed was planted. 2 tracks from King T, Just Clownin' and Payback's a Mother, and Payback mix at the top of the set. 19 before 3 o'clock on KBEM-FM Minneapolis. Time to get into a set of the much-awaited, sort of what it's all about, the purpose, the nitty-gritty of sorts. The real oldies, the real early history. Finally getting around to the requested Funky 4+1 signature. That's The Joint. Also going to do Jam on It by Nucleus and Body Rock. From Rap Masters 10, the best of scratchin' on Priority, another Priority compilation. They put out a series of about 10 or 12 of these. The best of the jam, the best of the rhyme, the best of the laughs, the best of hip-hop. Great stuff, and affordable for the price of a... I won't mention the exact price, but for the price of about a single 12-inch record, you can have these crucial rap and hip-hop documents. I highly recommend it. Many of them with the original full-length versions, too, so...
Just like K-Tel.
We're going to do Rockin' It from...
Fearless 4.
The Fearless 4, but I'm not sure what source we're going to do it from. Either the longer version on Hip Hop Heritage or the shorter, or is it all the same?
I think all those are about the same, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
There's only one Rockin' It?
Oh, wait, no. Well, unless we flipped over that... wait, it's shorter on Awesome 2.
Shorter on the Awesome 2's History of Rap Volume 1. Another essential document if you were planning your own history of hip-hop, like we're doing History of Rap, on Select Records. Well, we'll do one version or the other. We'll time it out and see what fits. And I don't know, probably more Grandmaster Flash. We still have a couple of classics to do from him, and then we'll get into I Want to Do Lottie Dottie by Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh and some of their stuff. What are you hankering to do, Burl?
NWA.
Oh, right.
Latrim? No.
I want to do we'll do some NWA because I want to play both versions of Straight Outta Compton. I want to play the LP and then the I just get endless hours of amusement from the clean radio version, so you've got to hear the difference. So that's just what is ahead. We've got a lot of records down here, not enough time to do them if you're tuned in. 627-2833 is the number to try and stump the rapper and the DJ. 627-2833. See if you can request a rap tune that we don't have in cassette or CD or vinyl. Speaking of vinyl, it's back to the History of Rap Volume 1, the Awesome 2. Present.
That's The Joint.
By the Funky 4, plus one more. The Treacherous 3, doing one of my favorite hip-hop classics, the Body Rock. Now, Kool Mo D was in the Treacherous 3 at one time.
Right.
Spoonie G apparently was. On this
Right.
Hip-Hop Heritage, there's a track with Spoonie G in the Treacherous 3.
Right.
But I don't have credits enough to know if
It gets
who was on there.
Yeah. I think Kool Mo D was a constant on all the Treacherous 3. But I think Spoonie G was only in the early Treacherous 3.
I see.
You see.
I liked Kool Mo D better back then, actually. I don't know if I like his new...
Likewise, I'm sure.
Before that, Jam on It by Nucleus. Those two in a row were from, like I said, Rap Masters 10, The Best of Scratchin'. A tape that also includes Rapper's Delight, At the Party by Treacherous 3, which maybe we'll back up to one of these days, Planet Rock by Bambata, and That's the Joint, Funky 4+1. Those 6 tunes on one little 5-spot tape. Incredible. Compilations are the key to rap history. Another track from The Awesome 2 presents The History of Rap, Volume 1. We've done 3 tracks on this so far. We're 3 out of 8 or something like that. With then we're going to do The Message in a different form. We're coming up to a version of Rockin' It by the Fearless Four, and then a long set of early Grandmaster classics. The Message, Wheels of Steel, and White Lines. Now on here it says "Don't do it," but it's don't do it.
Don't do it.
So, but hey,
It's a fine line.
yeah, just more rap trivia at 6 after 3 a.m. on KBEM-FM Minneapolis, where you're listening to Burls and Jim's selective history of rap and hip-hop. We're going to skip, I don't know if the reading from Newsweek was such a smash last time. We're just going to skip over it since we are already into what should be the musical portion of the 3 o'clock hour. So here we are, rocking it with the Fearless Four from the Awesome 2, present the History of Rap, Volume 1 on KBEM-FM Minneapolis. Weird comeback on that. 3 in a row. A rock block by Grandmaster Flash.
And the Furious Five.
Get it right.
Oh, sorry.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. They did The Message. Grandmaster Flash did Wheels of Steels. Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel did that last tune, White Lines. Don't do it. The complete side 1 of the Best of the Street, Rap Masters 8, on priority CDs and cassettes. This whole Rap Masters series isn't on LP, from what I can tell.
People.
And believe me, I looked for it. People, it's bad. And the other thing is, 2 shops that I went to didn't seem to have the upper volumes of the Rap Masters series. They always had 1 through 6 on CD, and I didn't see the higher volumes on CD. And 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like the better ones. So that was a slight drag, but maybe it was just a fluke of record buying. So anyway, that was our tribute to another of the greats of rap. Various configurations of the Grandmaster group, who they always recorded on Sugar Hill, and then they moved off later on.
Well, they started on Enjoy.
Oh, right.
With Super Rappin'. As from what I can tell, then they did most of their stuff for Sugar Hill. And then things got a little tricky. I believe they went, somebody got signed to Elektra. Grandmaster Flash was on Elektra, and then Melly Mel went on his own, and Cowboy got shot or something. And,
right. Wild.
Don't stop.
25 before 4 o'clock, we had a request for a track that we were probably going to do sometime during the show, so we'll do it just about now. We also had another request for very early Beastie Boys pre-Licensed to Ill, which we were going to do, and we'll get to in probably the next half hour. Not until we hear the original version, the long form of Rock the Bells. That'll lead to a sort of answer track, maybe by Slick Rick. Say what?
Oh, I was just going to say that Rock the Bells goes out to the homeboy contingent at Franklin and Portland, where they checked in from the car phone.
Okay. We're going to hear at least one track, probably just one track, from The Great Adventures of Slick Rick after LL Cool J, but then 2 tracks by Dougie Fresh and MC Ricky D. MC Ricky D being, in fact, Slick Rick, his name back when he was with Doug E. Fresh. We'll hear the show and Lottie Dottie, and then probably the Beasties, and that probably takes care of the 3 to 4 hour. What's up? What's on tap for 4? Then we're getting into BDP, NWA, initial groups. We've got a lot of BDP that we can do.
Done De La Soul or Jungle Brothers or Digital Underground.
We'll probably move back into the modern era as the morning goes on.
Salt and Pepper, Latrim, Jimmy Castor.
Right, we've got that Jimmy Castor.
The Ohio Players.
That'll be near
Osmonds,
top of 4. That'll lead into 4 core.
Sly Stone.
Third base. We had a request for third base.
Tom Jones. Oh, okay.
We'll probably get to a serious dissing of LL Cool J by Kool Moe Dee from East Coast versus West Coast, an RCA Jive compilation cassette. We'll do maybe Essays on BDPism and Let's Go by Essays on BDPism by BDP, Let's Go by Kool Moe Dee, Jane, Stop This Crazy Thing by MC Shan after 4 o'clock or so. But we're out of here, and LL Cool J is in the house. Dougie Fresh, MC Ricky D, later to be known as Slick Rick, and the Get Fresh crew with a rap classic, The Show. That was a version from Rap's Greatest Hits on Profile, the first volume of them. Excuse me, it was on Priority. Rap's Greatest Hits, Volume 1, which we might track a bit more later. It's got Pee-wee's Dance by Joe-Ski Love, Friends by Houdini, and Roxanne by UTFO, among other things. Music from Beastie Boys coming up soon, BDP, NWA, and perhaps others. We had a new forecast for Minnesota. The extended forecast Tuesday through Thursday continued cool Tuesday and Wednesday, but warming up on Thursday with a chance of showers in the south. Highs in the 40s south Tuesday and Wednesday, warming on Thursday into the 40s north and 50s south. Lows in the 20s south Tuesday and Wednesday, moderating to the 30s by Thursday. So kind of a warming trend on the way. Half a minute before 4 o'clock here on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 88.5 on your FM dial. We're a non-commercial service of the Minneapolis Public Schools. Things turn a little bit more hardcore in this hour with Beasties, NWA, then two of the great Answer records of all time, Throw the D and Throw the P by Two Live Crew and Enquete on Luke Skywalker. Like I said, some BDP stuff and various others along the way. It starts off with the Beastie Boys' pre-Licensed to Ill 12-inch single on Rat Cage Records of New York City, the famous Cookie Puss 12-inch. Stop the Violence by Boogie Down Productions, the song that inspired the sort of rap artist movement of the same name that collaborated on the single that we heard right before that, Self-Destruction. And I was just trying to write down the set. Cookie Puss was in there. Essays on BDPism was the other track from East Coast versus West Coast on Jive RCA. And then we did Self-Destruction and Stop the Violence. 23 after 4 o'clock. Just want to step in here and play two versions back to back. The LP version of the title track of Straight Outta Compton, and then the clean cassette single Straight Outta Compton backed with Express Yourself. And I don't know, I still get a big kick out of this for a group that was so supposedly unrelenting, but had did issue this I don't know, I mean, I don't even know if this would be radio ready either. I guess we'll find out when we play it. But anyway, 24 after 4, still have Enquete and Two Live Crew coming up. And then maybe Digital Underground, Jungle Brothers, De La Soul, etc., etc. 627-2833. Still the number to call for any last-minute requests. We've had a lot that we couldn't fulfill for the reason that we only brought as many records as we could carry, which was not as many as people want to hear, but we're doing what we can. Third Base should also be coming up soon, by the way, so... Should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
3 before 5 o'clock, and that's the third side of a 3-sided 12-inch single by De La Soul. Ain't hip to be labeled a hippie, from their Me, Myself, and I single, which the flip side of which had 2 grooves with different... There was like different versions of Me, Myself, and I, and then another vocal non-LP B-side, and then the third groove was that little, I don't know what, spoken comedy bit. And they did a little comedy routine on the B-side of Say No Go as well, also featuring Jeff, a recurrent B-side prankster. Can't Do Nothing For You, Man, a track I've played way too many times in recent shows, and played one more time for all the old times, as Melissa Manchester would say. From the House Party soundtrack, Can't Do Nothing For You, Man. Flavor Flav meets Spike Lee. Some sort of weird outtake exercise from the Do the Right Thing recording sessions. Throw the P by Enquete on Luke Skywalker. She has made albums of her own, but that was a track from Miami Bass Waves Volume 2, from which we also heard Throw the D by Two Live Crew. In between there, a short bit of Hey Leroy by Jimmy Castor Bunch, and before Throw the D, Troglodyte, an essential beat to have for mixing, a seminal document to the hip-hop movement, or so I'm told. And then 2 versions of Straight Outta Compton, the cleaner second version on Single, the other straight off the album. And that was pretty much the set, bringing us up to 1 before 5. Had some requests for Third Base and the LA Dream Team, which I think we can honor just about now on KBEM-FM, Minneapolis, 88.5 on your FM dial. 1 minute before 5, the new Twin Cities forecast was in. I guess I should read that for something to do. Mostly clear this morning, becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon. Windy and warmer with highs around 60. Light winds in the morning increasing to 15 to 30 by afternoon. Tonight's lows will only be down near 45, but there's a 40% chance for late showers. Winds will still be gusty in the evening from 15 to 30, then turning down to 10 to 20 in the south. Monday, still a 40% chance for morning showers, otherwise partly sunny and mild with highs back up to 60. So, warm and wet, it looks like. There's the LA Dream Team. The Dream Team is in the house from Rap's Greatest Hits Volume 2 on Priority. Third Base next. L.A. Star just released her LP, Poetess, on Profile. That's track 1 from side 2, It Takes a Real Woman. 3 tracks from Third Base, The Cactus CD. Before that, Words of Wisdom, Brooklyn Queens, and Flippin' Off the Wall Like Lucy Ball. 28 after 5 o'clock. Today, mostly clear, or for this morning anyway, becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon, windy and warmer with highs around 60. Winds light in the morning, picking up to 15 to 30. Tonight's lows near 45 with a 40% chance for late showers. Southeast winds calming down to 10 to 20. Monday, still a 40% chance for morning showers, otherwise partly sunny and mild with highs back up around 60. We'll be back with the Digital Underground right after this.
This is Roger Letting of the Minnesota Department of Transportation. Join KBEM mornings 6 to 9 and afternoons from 3:30 to 6:30 for the latest updates from the Traffic Management Center in downtown Minneapolis. KBEM will bring you live traffic reports every 10 minutes during the rush hour, plus all the information you need to make your drive to and from work safer and faster. So don't get caught in a jam. Tune in to KBEM-FM, your traffic information station.
28 after 5 on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 88.5 on your FM dial. Here's the sound of the Digital Underground from their brand new LP, Sex Packets, on Tommy Boy. Digital Underground with a suite of sorts about sex packets, real or imagined. 14 before 6 o'clock, we're going to wrap up with more music from A Tribe Called Quest's brand new album, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm, Luck of Lucienne, After Hours, and Footprints on KBEM FM, Minneapolis, 88.5 on your FM dial. Footprints by A Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. 1.5 before 6 o'clock. In state news this morning, it appears the 3-day longshoreman strike might spread to Duluth, Minnesota, and a second ship of the season. Duluth longshoremen were to meet early Sunday, overloading grain on the Algonorth, which was awaiting entry outside the Duluth harbor yesterday afternoon. Homeless advocates say that beginning May 1st, they will take over empty houses in the Twin Cities owned by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. About 25 people gathered outside an abandoned Minneapolis house Saturday to draw attention to the large number of empty buildings, while nearly 2,000 go homeless in the Twin Cities. A fire has blackened about 80 acres in Anoka County. The grass fire in Ham Lake yesterday required crews from at least 5 area departments. Air tankers also were called in to drop fire retardant as the flames got close to area homes. And vowing that treaty rights would not be, quote, trampled by a small group of racists, about 100 Chippewa treaty supporters rallied in a Stevens Point Park in Wisconsin yesterday. The group of about 30 pro-treaty organizations called for member groups to appear at boat landings where the Indians plan to begin spearfishing later this month. 6 o'clock, straight up, here on KBEM-FM Minneapolis at 88.5 on your FM dial. We're expecting highs around 60 degrees this afternoon as it becomes partly cloudy and windy. Winds will be light this morning, however, becoming southeast and increasing to 15 to 30. Lows might head back down to near 45 tonight with a 40% chance for late showers. Southeast winds 15 to 30, calming to about 10 to 15 by tonight. Then tomorrow, 40% chance for continued showers, otherwise partly sunny and mild, with highs back up around 60. From 88.5 on your FM dial, you're in tune to the non-commercial service of the Minneapolis Public Schools, broadcasting from North High School in Minneapolis, KBEM-FM Minneapolis. It's time to begin Sunday Morning Jazz, which kicks off with Charles Lloyd, the first track from his new CD, Fish Out of Water. Charles Lloyd is on tenor sax and flute. Bobo Stenson is the pianist. Palle Danielson on bass, and John Christensen drumming on this July 1989 recording at Rainbow Studio in Oslo, Norway.
The title track from the compact disc Fish Out of Water, the Charles Lloyd Quartet. Charles Lloyd on the tenor saxophone and flute, Bobo Stenson doing the piano work, Palle Danielson on bass, and John Christensen doing the drum work. Recorded July of 1989 in Rainbow Studio, Oslo. The label is the ECM record label. Now 11 minutes past 6 o'clock, this is Jazz in the Morning, a Sunday edition. Good morning, everyone. I'm General Vasquez. Going to be with you until 9 o'clock this morning. Coming up at 9, we bring you the Big Bandstand, followed at 10 by One Night Stand, and classic jazz follows that at 11. Now here's a tune from the compact disc For You Only. Marlon Jordan, the artist, is on the Columbia record label. We're going to hear a tune called Monk's Point. This CD is brand new from Columbia. And we have Marlon Jordan doing the trumpet work, Bradford Marsalis on tenor saxophone, Ken Jordan doing the flute work, Dale Grant on piano, Joe Lavagine on piano, also Ira Coleman doing the bass work, and Troy Davis on drums. Once again, here's Monk's Tune on 88.5 FM. Music of the McCoy Tyner Big Band from the compact disc Uptown, Downtown on the Milestone record label. Recorded live at the Blue Note in New York City, November 25th of 1988. Blues for Basie, the name of that tune. The time now, 27 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. In the Twin Cities, clear skies, a temperature of 29 degrees. And finally, those blustery winds have come to a halt. The winds are calm currently. Our forecast for today in the Twin Cities calls for mostly clear skies this morning, becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon. Windy and warmer with highs probably around 60 degrees. Winds light this morning. Later tonight, mostly cloudy and windy. 40% chance for some late showers. Low of about 45. Making way tomorrow for a 40% chance for some more morning showers. Otherwise partly sunny and mild. A high once again right up around 60 degrees. 29 degrees under clear skies in Minneapolis and St. Paul currently. You are listening to Sunday Morning Jazz here on your first station for jazz, 88.5 KBEM-FM. I'm Gennaro Vasquez and I'm your host for this program. Music up next from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. The compact disc is The Great Concerts. This compact disc features the quartet in performances in such places as Amsterdam, Carnegie Hall, and Copenhagen. It's a 2-record set on one compact disc, which means instead of supplying us with 2 completely different compact discs, they just put all the tracks on this one. We're going to hear 2 tunes, Blue Rondo a la Turk and Take 5. They were both recorded February 21st of 1963 at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Dave Brubeck on piano, Paul Desmond doing the saxophone work, Gene Wright on bass, Joe Morello doing the drum work. This is on the Columbia Jazz Masterpiece record label. A tune called Caravan from the compact disc Marsalis Standard Time, Volume 1. It's on the Columbia record label, the music of Wynton Marsalis. That was recorded at the RCA Recording Studio, Studio A, on May 29th of 1986. Wynton Marsalis on trumpet, Marcus Roberts, the J Master on piano, Robert Leslie Hurst III on bass, and Jeff Tane Watts on drums. Now 2 minutes past 7 o'clock, this is your first station for jazz in the Twin Cities, 88.5 KBEM-FM Minneapolis. I'm Gennaro Vasquez, and the program is Sunday Morning Jazz. We'll get back into some more music in just a few minutes. First of all, here is the latest news from the Associated Press and the KBEM-FM newsroom. Well, Swedish firefighters are struggling with the blazing hulk of a North Sea ferry. Authorities now say 135 people are feared dead in a fire that raced through the ferry early yesterday. And they say many of the bodies are still on board. Tugboats have towed the flaming vessel to the port of Lysekil, Sweden, but they haven't been able to douse the flames. And officials say firefighters still can't get to the lower section of the ferry where many of the bodies are. The North Sea ferry is already being called the worst ever in Scandinavian waters, and officials say dealing with the disaster is taking a toll among the firefighters. Some have come off the blazing ferry with flames still licking at their suits, and as they come ashore, a crisis psychological team is meeting with them. Well, there's still no firm death toll from a river ferry disaster in Burma. Government radio says at least 30 people died when the ferry went down during a fierce storm on Friday, but the report says another 186 are missing and believed drowned. For the third time in 10 months, Greece is trying to give someone a clear mandate to govern, and Washington will be watching closely. 4 American military bases in Greece must close in November unless the two countries reach a new agreement. In Hungary, it's a runoff day in elections for the first freely elected multi-party legislator since 1947, and one of Yugoslavia's republics, Slovenia, is voting for new leaders. It's the first free multi-party election anywhere in Yugoslavia since World War II. And Peru's choosing a president amid threats by leftist rebels and inflation that's reached 2,000% a year. The New York Times says the Soviet military may have pressed Mikhail Gorbachev to reject a U.S. arms control idea. The Times says President Bush had secretly offered to ban some land-based nuclear missiles, but that Gorbachev has said no. The foreman of the John Poindexter jury says Poindexter was very dedicated, but guilty as charged. That's what Wayne Mitchell told the Washington Post after the jury yesterday convicted Poindexter on all 5 felony counts. The former National Security Advisor faces sentencing in June for his part in the Iran-Contra scandal. And finally, world and national news, they sing for farmers and for AIDS victims, Ryan White. In Indianapolis last night, the Farm Aid 4 concert raised funds for family farmers, but singer Elton John focused attention on Ryan White, the teenage AIDS victim who's critically ill and hospitalized in Indianapolis. John drew an ovation when he dedicated one of his songs to White. Well, coming up for you this morning at 9 o'clock here on KBEM, we're going to bring you the Big Bandstand, followed by One Night Stand at 10, and at 11, Classic Jazz. So stay tuned right here to 88.5 FM, because we bring you the best jazz available in the Twin Cities. Now here's the Sonny Rollins Quintet. Sonny Rollins on tenor sax, Kenny Dorham doing the trumpet work, Wade Legge on piano, George Moreau on bass, and Max Roach taking up drums. Recorded in Hackensack, New Jersey, back on October 5th of 1956. A medley of tunes. I Remember You, My Melancholy Baby, Old Folks, They Can't Take That Away From Me, Just Friends, My Little Suede Shoes, and finally, as part of the medley, Star Eyes on 88.5 FM.